So this weekend we bring ourselves in the racing calendar to the Sandown Jumps Finale. And when we look at this, it's basically bringing the curtain down on the jump season. That's it really. We've got some summer jumpers coming around, but they will be few and far between. And we now transition into the flat season proper. Very soon we will have the Guineas, then we have the Chester May meeting, and then we have the Oaks and the Derby, and things really begin to start kicking off about now. It gets really, really busy. But the Jumps Finale is a meeting that should sort of bring your focus to this coming Saturday. And, you know, it's one of those sort of bigger Saturdays that we see throughout the card. However, not so long ago, I did actually skip this Saturday in preference of something else. If you're interested in learning to trade on Betfair, then visit the BetAngel Academy, where you have detailed, structured Betfair trading courses. Or why not visit our website where you can download a free trial of BetAngel Professional, but also visit the forum where you can get detailed images, examples, and downloadable files. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon if you want notification of new videos as they're released. So we've reached the point in the year now where we have reached the end of the jump season. So the Sandown Jumps Finale, as the name suggests, sort of marks off the jump season and we transition into the flat turf season proper. So from here on in, things get a lot busier. We've got the Guineas coming up, the evening racing starts, then we transition to the May Chester Festival, or the May meeting, whatever they call it. But yeah, things really begin to pick up now and we get loads of little features coming along, and it's the Oaks, the Derby, you know, things really begin to accelerate. So it's a key point within the year, and the Sandown Jumps Finale is a key day. And like most key days, it falls on a Saturday. And as you know, I tend to trade on Saturdays because they tend to have the biggest races with the biggest prize money, the biggest turnover, the biggest liquidity, which tends to produce the biggest opportunities. So my trading week has always skewed towards those big meetings. It's inevitable. If you trade seriously and profitably, then that's inevitably what happens. It was probably one of the first mistakes I made when I first started trading, was I tried to do a Monday to a Friday and realised that in fact I was missing all of the opportunities. So yeah, my week shifted slightly to make sure that I did those key Saturdays. However, I did miss the Sandown Jumps Finale, and I'm going to tell you the story about that in a second. But it's important to understand that, you know, while you do have those big meetings and stuff like that, certain things crop up that necessarily do trump those. So I went to a wedding in December, and there's another wedding that is planned this year. But on one year at the Sandown Jumps Finale, I decided to actually duck out of the day, simply because of something that was going on within the family. There was not a wedding, a funeral, or anything related to that. It was just a little bit of fun, but it's fun to do that now and again. But to understand where all of that came about, you have to understand that when I started on my trading career, I had a very young family. So I basically had 3 toddlers. And in fact, when I very first started, my eldest was only 4, and the others came along just as I really sort of launched myself seriously into my Betfair trading career. Sounds like madness, but it's all worked out just fine, because in fact trading gives you the opportunity, especially when you're on racing, to dip in and out of the markets quite frequently. So you don't have to be staying locked behind your screen endlessly. You can actually trade a market, and if you don't want to do the next one, you can walk away from it and do something else. So in fact, it's all worked out beautifully well. I didn't really particularly plan it like that, but I can now look at things 20 years on. All of my children are going to be adults this year, and you know, it's remarkable to think that all of that's taken place during my trading career. It's something that I've been very proud of. However, a few years ago, you know, one of the things that's developed over a number of years is my 2 girls took an interest in dance. So they used to belong to a local dance group, and they would do shows and stuff like this. I was totally unaware of this world until my girls started to pick up on this. But I wanted a few years ago to be able to support them in some way or another. So I actually turned up in the middle of one of their shows to do a little number with some of the other dads. So yeah, a few years ago I decided to actually drop out on Sandown Jumps Finale Day to actually go and do a little bit of dancing, and in fact I did do a little bit of singing. For some reason some of the other dads were a bit reluctant to do some singing. However, it was something that I was happy to step up to do. Not sure if it's worthy of showing that on a video, however, but yeah, they did a stage production of Mary Poppins, and I turned up as a chimney sweep halfway through, and it was a really fun day. The markets actually traded particularly well that day because the guys in the office were telling me what was going on, and they seemed to have a pretty good day. So it is, I think, a meeting that necessarily deserves your attention as we move through the particular year. But on the day we had a show in the afternoon and a show in the evening, and therefore it wasn't possible for me to be able to do that. But it didn't stop me going down the pub with the guys in between the two performances. So that was quite fun to do as well. But yeah, Jumps Finale, big race meeting, big opportunities for you this weekend, and if you're not dancing and singing, then I suggest you turn up and give it a good go.